We are so pleased to welcome ESPN and SEC Network analyst Chris Doering to the HOG WILD Pregame Show. Chris, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us about the Hogs.
Oh, man, thanks for having me. A lot to talk about, man. It's kind of an exciting start, even though they suffered the loss last week, man. Kind of fired up about this offense particularly.
Definitely a tough loss that they're moving past now, but I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on the Razorbacks now that we have kind of a 3-game sample size in mind to look at?
Yeah, it is funny the way you framed that there. We do have a 3-game sample size, but I think there is some maybe dousing of the excitement a little bit just based upon who they've played so far. I know that the offense went up and down the field against Ole Miss's defense, put up over 500 yards. I don't think there's any doubt that Taylon Green, one, is one of the best quarterbacks in this conference, and two, is not getting the credit that he deserves for it. The offense looks like it's taken a step forward this year in year 2 under Bobby Petrino's tutelage. But the question I have still is about the defense. They've got to find a way to get back to some of those defenses of the early years of Sam Pittman there in Fayetteville.
I still want to continue talking about a little bit more on the bright side with the offense. Arkansas statistically has been one of the better offenses in the country. A big reason for that is how Taylon Green has performed as just dominating as a dual-threat quarterback. Just how do you think this Memphis defense stacks up against Arkansas's offense in this matchup?
Yeah, I think Arkansas is going to have a lot of continued success. Not a whole lot of quarterbacks that go out and throw for 300 and rush for over 100 like Taylon did last week against Ole Miss. But I think that's kind of the performance that Arkansas is going to need from their quarterback. He can make people miss when guys come free. And I think, looking at the running game as a whole is in really good position right now. One of the things heading into the season I was most curious about was who were going to be the pass catchers. And, Omega Blake has become one of my favorite wide receivers in the conference.
And I think when it comes to this defense, it seems like they've been kind of tough to gauge. They've been up and down this season. They had a good performance against Arkansas State, but then against Ole Miss, they stopped the run, which is what they wanted to do against a running back like Kewan Lacey, holding to 44 yards rushing. But then they give up over 300 through the air. Just what do you think about this defense and how it would match against a team like Memphis that loves to run the ball?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest test. I want to say 15 of the 17 touchdowns that Memphis has scored this year have been via the ground game. So stopping the run is going to be of utmost importance, and trying to force them to beat you left-handed would be a huge win for Travis Williams' defense.
Where do you think the dominoes will fall? What is your personal prediction for the game, if you would want to share with us?
It's a dangerous game. I asked the question, why are you scheduling this game? Especially 11 o'clock local time. Has the potential to be, maybe a little bit dead there. I know the Memphis folks are going to be fired up getting an SEC team coming to town. So Arkansas is going to have to be ready to go. They need to come out fast. They need to quiet that crowd there at Memphis. I'd love to see Taylon Green, have a big run off the jump and kind of force the hand of Memphis.
Definitely seems like a must-win, at least morale-wise, before you welcome in Notre Dame this next week. But we thank you so much for your time, Chris, and wish you nothing but the best.